Mornings used to feel different, didn't they? You'd wake up, stretch your arms, and feel ready to take on the day. Maybe you'd make a fresh pot of coffee, enjoy the quiet of the house, and step outside to check the garden or read the newspaper. But now, for some of you, mornings feel heavier. You wake up groggy, not refreshed. Getting out of bed takes a little longer. And even after your first cup of coffee, your body feels slow, your mind even slower. Maybe it starts with small things. The laundry feels like more of a chore than it used to. That morning walk that once felt energizing now feels optional, or even exhausting. Or maybe by mid-morning, you're already fighting the urge to sit down, close your eyes, and rest. And all of this happens before lunch. You're not alone in this. Fatigue is one of the most common complaints for people over 60. But here's the important part. It's not always just part of getting older. In many cases, it's the result of habits we've grown used to, especially the ones we form in the morning. And one of the biggest contributors to low energy in older adults? Believe it or not, it's breakfast. We often think of breakfast as a simple routine: toast, coffee, maybe a bowl of cereal or nothing at all. But the truth is, the way we start our day, especially what we choose to eat, plays a much bigger role in our energy, clarity, and well-being than we realize. You see, your body has been fasting all night. It wakes up needing fuel, not just calories, but nutrients that support your muscles, your brain, and your metabolism. The right breakfast can give you a steady, uplifting start to the day. But the wrong one. It can set you up for energy crashes, brain fog, and even mood swings. Think of your body like a car. If you fill it with low-quality fuel, it might still run, but not very well. It sputters. It slows. And eventually, it needs more repairs. But when you give it the fuel it's designed to run on, everything changes. It moves better, lasts longer, and performs with more ease. Now, I know for many seniors, breakfast habits are deeply rooted. You've been eating a certain way for decades. You might even think, what difference could a slice of toast or a bowl of cereal really make? But the research and the real-life experiences of countless older adults say otherwise. Studies from institutions like Harvard Medical School and the Mayo Clinic have consistently shown that morning nutrition impacts everything from physical strength and balance to memory and mood. And here's the empowering part. It doesn't take drastic changes to see results. Small tweaks to your breakfast can lead to big improvements in how you feel throughout the day. That sluggish mid-morning feeling? That drained mood around lunchtime? They're not just random. They're often connected to what you did or didn't eat when you first woke up. So, what's really going wrong with breakfast? Well, in my years of working with seniors and diving deep into the science, I've seen 3 common mistakes that quietly drain your energy and leave you feeling more tired than you should. And the good news is, they're all fixable. Easily. With everyday foods you probably already have in your kitchen. And we'll talk about each of those today. We'll look at the most common breakfast habits that seem harmless, but are actually setting you up for fatigue. We'll also walk through simple, satisfying swaps that can give your body the boost it's really asking for. Things like what type of cereal to choose, what to add to your morning routine if you're usually just a coffee-only person, and how a bit of protein in the morning can change everything from your energy to your balance. Because here's the bottom line. You deserve to feel good in the morning. You deserve a breakfast that doesn't slow you down, but lifts you up. And if you're feeling frustrated by how drained your mornings have become, this video might be exactly what you need. Now that we've set the stage, let's dive into the real heart of today's message. The 3 most common breakfast mistakes that are quietly draining your energy, and the simple, nourishing swaps that can help you feel more alive, more balanced, and more ready for the day ahead. If this sounds familiar, hit that subscribe button and tell us in the comments, what do you usually eat for breakfast? Let's begin with a breakfast mistake that's incredibly common, especially among older adults who've grown up believing that a quick, sweet bite is the perfect way to start the day. We're talking about sugary cereals, pastries, toaster treats, and even some so-called healthy breakfast bars. These foods are convenient, no doubt. They're fast, familiar, and often paired with a warm cup of coffee or tea. For many, it feels like a comforting little morning ritual. But here's the problem. These foods might be comforting to your taste buds, but they're not comforting to your body. In fact, they may be the very reason you feel drained by mid-morning, even if you went to bed early and had a decent night's sleep. You see, most of these breakfast options are loaded with refined sugars and simple carbohydrates. Foods like cinnamon raisin toast, frosted cornflakes, jam-filled muffins, or even flavored instant oatmeal all break down quickly into sugar once they're digested. And what happens next is something that affects your whole day. When you start your morning with a sugar-heavy meal, your blood sugar level spikes. This can give you a quick jolt of energy, a short-lived sense of alertness. But your body, always trying to keep things in balance, releases a large dose of insulin to bring that sugar back down. And very often, it does so a little too effectively. This causes your blood sugar to drop quickly, and that's when the crash hits. You might feel that crash is fatigue, foggy thinking, irritability, or even lightheadedness. Some people describe it as a wave of tiredness that seems to come out of nowhere, a sudden dip in energy that makes it hard to focus or continue with your usual activities. But that wave? It's often your body reacting to the roller coaster of blood sugar highs and lows caused by sugary breakfast foods. And over time, this pattern isn't just uncomfortable, it can actually be harmful. According to the American Diabetes Association and findings published by Harvard Health, frequent spikes and crashes in blood sugar can increase the risk of developing insulin resistance, metabolic issues, and unwanted weight gain, especially in older adults. But even if those long-term risks feel far off, the day-to-day impact, low energy, poor focus, mood swings, is something you feel right now. Let's pause and talk about cereal for a moment. Many seniors still believe that a bowl of cereal is a light and healthy way to start the day. But take a look at the label of most popular brands, even the ones with words like heart healthy or whole grain on the box. You'll often find 10, 15, or even 20 grams of added sugar per serving. That's more than you'd get from a donut, and it's before you add any fruit or sweetened milk on top. And pastries? They're even worse. A store-bought muffin or Danish might taste like a treat, but it's really just sugar and white flour held together by fat. No fiber. No protein. Nothing that helps your body feel grounded or supported. So what's the solution? Let's take a look at a few easy breakfast changes that can gently support your body's energy and rhythms, without sacrificing comfort or taste. For example, instead of reaching for those pre-flavored packets of instant oatmeal, try preparing plain rolled oats at home. They're just as quick to make on the stovetop or in the microwave, but far more nourishing. You can add a handful of fresh or frozen berries, like blueberries or raspberries, and sprinkle in some chopped walnuts, almonds, or chia seeds. A little cinnamon or a light drizzle of honey can bring just enough sweetness without sending your blood sugar soaring. This kind of breakfast gives you a wonderful combination of fiber, antioxidants, and healthy fats, all of which help slow digestion and keep your energy steady throughout the morning. One of my patients, Frank, a retired school principal in his 70s, used to eat a bowl of raisin bran every morning, believing it was a healthy choice. But by 9:30, he'd be dozing off on the couch. After switching to homemade oatmeal with banana slices and almonds, he felt the difference almost immediately. "I feel more even all morning," he told me. No more crashes. No more second cup of coffee just to stay alert. Another simple, satisfying option is whole grain toast topped with natural nut butter. If toast is already a part of your morning routine, you don't have to give it up. Just make it work for you. Choose a hearty, whole grain bread with visible seeds or grains, and spread it with unsweetened peanut or almond butter. This combination offers a powerful trio: fiber to slow digestion, protein to support your muscles, and healthy fats to keep your hunger satisfied. And the best part? It takes less than 5 minutes to prepare. You can also try Greek yogurt paired with fresh fruit and a sprinkle of seeds. Greek yogurt is especially helpful for seniors because it's high in protein, easy on the stomach, and doesn't require any cooking. Add sliced strawberries or peaches, maybe a spoonful of pumpkin or sunflower seeds, and you've got a well-balanced meal in a bowl. Just be sure to choose the plain or lightly sweetened varieties. Many flavored yogurts on the market contain as much added sugar as dessert. By letting the natural sweetness of fruit shine through, you give your body something far more nourishing and supportive. What's important to remember here is that these foods aren't part of a fad diet or trendy health plan. They're simple, familiar ingredients that honor how your body works, especially as it changes with age. As our metabolism slows and our blood sugar regulation becomes more sensitive, we need foods that provide gentle, consistent energy rather than sudden highs and lows. And the best part? You don't have to give up the foods you love. You just make small, thoughtful adjustments that leave you feeling better, more alert, more balanced, and more in control of your day. It's not about removing sweetness entirely. It's about finding it in places that also offer fiber, protein, and real nourishment. And here's the good news. This isn't about giving up everything you love. It's about making gentle, thoughtful swaps that honor your health and energy. You don't need to cut out sweetness entirely. Just choose sweetness that comes with fiber, protein, and nutrients. So tomorrow morning, before you reach for that cereal box or sweet bun, pause for a moment. Think about what your body is asking for. Not just a quick fix, but something that truly supports you. A steady morning leads to a steady day. And that begins with what's on your plate. Now let's talk about something just as important as avoiding sugar, and that's making sure your breakfast includes enough protein. This is a mistake many seniors make without even realizing it. Some skip breakfast altogether. Others grab something small, like a piece of fruit or toast with jam. And while these may seem like light, harmless options, they're missing a critical component your body deeply needs in the morning: protein. So why is protein so important? First, your body uses protein to build and maintain muscle, support immune function, and keep your blood sugar levels stable. When you eat a breakfast that includes protein, your body digests it more slowly, which means you get a steadier, longer-lasting source of energy. This helps prevent that crash you might feel mid-morning or before lunch. But when you skip protein, something else happens. You may feel full briefly, especially if you drink a cup of tea or coffee with something starchy, but within an hour or two, your energy starts to dip. You may feel mentally foggy, physically tired, or just plain off. And worse, without that steady supply of amino acids from protein, your muscles miss out on the building blocks they need to stay strong. That matters a lot, because after age 60, your body naturally starts to lose muscle. It's a condition called sarcopenia, and it can speed up if you don't get enough protein. Muscle strength isn't just about lifting weights. It affects everything from your balance and posture to how easily you can get out of a chair or carry groceries. So, the right breakfast isn't just about energy. It's about independence. I once worked with a woman named Joyce, 74 years old, who would start her morning with just a slice of toast and some tea. By 11 a.m., she said she felt like her batteries were already drained. When we added scrambled eggs and a small bowl of cottage cheese to her breakfast, the difference was night and day. Within 2 weeks, she told me, "I don't feel like I need a nap before lunch anymore. I feel like myself again." So how can you add more protein to your mornings, without making it complicated? Let's go over a few realistic, senior-friendly options. Start with eggs. Scrambled, boiled, poached, however you like them. One large egg contains about 6 grams of high-quality protein, along with important nutrients like choline and vitamin D. If you want to make it even more nourishing, add some sautéed vegetables or avocado on the side. And if you have high cholesterol or need to limit egg intake, try using a mix of 1 whole egg and extra egg whites to reduce the fat while keeping the protein. Another excellent choice: cottage cheese. Half a cup of low-fat cottage cheese gives you around 14 grams of protein. It pairs well with fruit like pineapple, berries, or even sliced peaches. You can drizzle a bit of honey on top if you want a touch of sweetness. It's soft, easy to chew, and requires no cooking, perfect for mornings when your energy is low or your appetite is light. Or try a simple breakfast smoothie. Blend 1 cup of milk, dairy or fortified plant-based milk, a banana, a spoonful of peanut butter, and a handful of baby spinach. Add some ground flaxseed or Greek yogurt if you like. In just 5 minutes, you've got a balanced, protein-rich meal that's easy to digest, tastes great, and supports both your muscles and your energy levels. One important note: if you're someone who doesn't feel hungry first thing in the morning, don't worry. You don't need a giant meal. Even a small source of protein can make a big difference. Try starting with a boiled egg and half a piece of toast, or a few spoonfuls of yogurt with some seeds or nuts. The key is consistency, giving your body the tools it needs, day after day, to stay strong and energized. And for those wondering how much protein is enough, general guidelines suggest seniors aim for 20 to 30 grams of protein per meal. That might sound like a lot, but spread throughout the day, with a solid start at breakfast, it's very achievable. Talk to your doctor or dietitian to find what's right for you, especially if you have kidney or other health concerns. The bottom line: skipping protein might seem harmless, but over time, it adds up, and not in a good way. The good news is, this is one of the easiest mistakes to fix. You don't need powders or fancy supplements. Just real, whole foods that help your body feel grounded and ready. When your breakfast includes protein, you're not just giving your body energy, you're giving it strength. You're setting yourself up for a more stable mood, better focus, and fewer energy crashes. And over time, that adds up to a stronger, more confident version of yourself. This last mistake is one I see more often than you'd expect, especially among older adults who live alone or don't feel particularly hungry in the morning. You get up, make yourself a hot cup of coffee or tea, and maybe sip it while watching the news or reading a book. And that's it. No food. Just caffeine. It feels like a calm start to the day. But a few hours later, you might notice the effects creeping in. You feel tired. You're a little shaky. Maybe your hands are colder than usual, or your thinking isn't quite as clear. You might even feel lightheaded when you stand up. And you think, but I had coffee. Why do I feel like this? Let's take a closer look. Caffeine, whether from coffee or tea, is a stimulant. It gives the sensation of alertness by blocking certain fatigue signals in your brain. So even if you're running on an empty tank, caffeine can temporarily trick your body into thinking everything's fine. But once that effect wears off, the underlying fatigue comes rushing in, often stronger than before. Plus, caffeine can also contribute to dehydration. As we age, our sense of thirst naturally declines, so we may not drink enough water. And if you're only having coffee in the morning, with no hydrating foods like fruits or yogurt, your body may become slightly dehydrated without you realizing it. Mild dehydration, even just 1 to 2%, is enough to cause fatigue, dizziness, and difficulty concentrating. And then there's the blood sugar factor. When you skip breakfast entirely and only drink something caffeinated, your blood sugar remains low and stays unbalanced. You might not notice the hunger at first, but your body sure does. It's trying to fuel your brain, your muscles, and your organs, but it doesn't have the resources to do so. I remember one man in his late 60s. His name was Charles. Every morning, he'd have 2 cups of black coffee and call it good enough until lunch. He said he wasn't hungry in the morning and didn't want to spoil his appetite. But by mid-morning, he often felt shaky, irritable, and unfocused. We introduced a small, easy breakfast alongside his coffee, just half an avocado on toast with an egg. Within a week, he reported, I feel like my energy lasts longer, and my hands don't tremble anymore. Sometimes it's that simple. So what can you do if you're used to having just coffee or tea in the morning? You don't need to give up your hot beverage. Not at all. But think of it as the companion, not the main event. Pair it with real food that offers hydration, protein, healthy fats, and complex carbohydrates, the kind that gives your body a steady release of energy. One easy idea is avocado toast with an egg. It's soft, nourishing, and takes just minutes to make. The avocado gives you healthy fats and potassium, while the egg adds protein and structure. Add a sprinkle of pepper or a slice of tomato if you like. You can still sip your coffee, But now your body has something to actually work with. Another simple choice: a breakfast wrap. Use a small whole grain tortilla, scramble 1 or 2 eggs with spinach or bell peppers, and wrap it up. You can even prep a few of these in advance and warm them up quickly in the morning. It's portable, balanced, and gives your body protein, fiber, and nutrients to start the day right. Or keep it even simpler: a fruit and yogurt bowl. Choose plain Greek yogurt, add sliced banana or berries, and toss in some walnuts or pumpkin seeds. If you want extra hydration, include some orange slices or watermelon cubes on the side. You'll still enjoy your tea or coffee, but with food that stabilizes your system rather than draining it. And if solid food feels unappealing right when you wake up, consider starting with a smoothie. Just blend milk or yogurt with a banana, a spoonful of peanut butter, and maybe some oats or flaxseed. Sip it slowly while enjoying your tea. You might find your appetite gently waking up as you nourish your body in a calm, low-effort way. The key takeaway here is simple: caffeine alone is not breakfast. It might feel like it helps, and for a short while, it does, but it's not enough. Without real nutrients, your body is running on fumes. And that's why so many seniors experience that late morning crash or feel like they just can't wake up all day long. Giving your body even a small amount of food in the morning, something soft, simple, and rich in protein or healthy fat, helps keep your blood sugar steady, your brain clear, and your mood balanced. It turns your morning routine from a temporary lift into a lasting source of energy and strength. You don't need to eat a feast. You just need to give your body what it's gently asking for. And that starts with more than just a cup of coffee. If any part of this message hit home today, I want to leave you with one simple truth: feeling tired in the morning doesn't have to be your new normal. You don't need to accept grogginess, sluggishness, or that drained feeling before lunch as just another part of aging. So often, it's not age, it's the habits we've unknowingly built over time. And when it comes to breakfast, even small, thoughtful changes can make a real difference in how your body feels and functions throughout the entire day. Let's quickly recap what we've learned, not in a checklist, but as a reminder of what's possible. When you trade in sugary cereals and pastries for something steady like oats, whole grain toast, or a bowl of Greek yogurt with fruit, you give your body fuel it can actually use. Slowly, steadily, and supportively. You avoid the energy spikes and crashes and feel more balanced all morning. When you make sure your breakfast includes some protein, whether it's eggs, cottage cheese, or a simple smoothie, you're not just feeding your body. You're protecting your strength. You're supporting your muscles, your brain, and your sense of independence. And when you pair your morning coffee or tea with real, hydrating, nourishing food, instead of drinking it on an empty stomach, you avoid those late morning crashes and help your body feel stable, focused, and cared for from the moment you start your day. These are not complicated strategies. You don't need to be a chef or spend hours in the kitchen. You don't need expensive health food. All you need is the willingness to listen to your body and the knowledge of how to support it, one breakfast at a time. You deserve mornings that feel good. Mornings where you feel clear-headed, steady on your feet, and ready to enjoy the day ahead. Whether that means taking a walk, chatting with a friend, or simply feeling at peace in your own body. And it all starts with that first meal. If this video gave you something to think about, give it a like, subscribe for more tips, and let us know in the comments. Which breakfast change are you excited to try? We're here to walk with you every step of the way, toward more energy, more strength, and more joy in the years ahead.